Trump plans World Health Organization withdrawal on day one of his administration. And y'all already know I'm all for it. Y'all know I don't believe in these international entities that goal is to take away countries' sovereignty. Countries deserve to put their own selves first and to put their people first. I have no trust in these international entities. You know, the WHO was the organizations that pushed the lockdowns and stuff. So, which we know was harmful to people, which know what we know was that set a bunch of children behind. We all know these things now. What have the World Health Organization actually done to help people, right? So we're gonna talk a little bit about it, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Liberty One News. Let's see, is there an author here? I'm not seeing an author. American Patriot, it says. And they report that President-elect Donald Trump is poised to reignite global controversy by pulling the United States out of the World Health Organization on his first day in office, January 20, 2025. And I love it. This is why globalists can't stand Trump, because we have someone in office that is actually putting our country's needs before the international conglomerates, before the military industrial complex, and they can't stand it. But according to a report from Financial Times, Trump's transition team is finalizing plans to sever ties with the Global Health Agency and a move that would eliminate its largest single source of funding and reshape U.S. engagement in international health policy. The decision, if executed, would fulfill a promise Trump made during his first presidency, where he accused the WHO of aligning too closely with China, which they do, and failing in its global health leadership, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, which they did. The U.S. contributes roughly 16% of the WHO's $6.83 billion budget, a figure that underscores its importance as the organization's top financial backer. Despite this, Trump has been one of the WHO's most vocal critics, accusing it of failing to hold China accountable for the spread of COVID-19, and of it being China-centric, which y'all know I've been talking about forever. Quote, in 2020, Trump initiated the process to leave the WHO as COVID-19 spread, accusing the agency of being under China's control, the Financial Times reported. However, the withdrawal process was halted when President Joe Biden reversed the decision immediately. Of course he did, because he's bought and paid for by China, right? Upon taking office in 2021, restoring U.S. ties with the organization. Sources familiar with Trump's transition plan say his team is prioritizing a swift withdrawal this time around to highlight a stark contrast with Biden's policies. Quote, there are lots of people who are going to be part of the inner circle of the administration who do not trust the WHO and want to symbolically show on day one that they are out, said Ashish Jha, Biden's former White House coronavirus response coordinator and the dean of Brown University School of Public Health. Trump's renewed push to lead the WHO reflects broader conservative concerns about global institutions perceived as undermining U.S. sovereignty. This is what I was just alluding to. It undermines everyone that's a part of this administration. It undermines all of your sovereignty. You have to go by their decree, and your citizens have no choice to vote on the matter when you sign up for the WHO, which is just ridiculous. Each country should do what's best for them. But critics within Trump's circle have long argued that the WHO fails to deliver value for the substantial financial contributions made by American taxpayers. Conservative voices also claim the organization exhibits inefficiencies and biases that make it ineffective. Quote, the same WHO that we left in the first administration, it seems like we wouldn't much care what they have to say, a source familiar with Trump's transition plans told the Financial Times. By making this decision on the inauguration day, Trump aims to set a tone for his second term, reaffirming his commitment to an America First agenda that prioritizes national interests over global policies, which y'all know that's what I'm all for, right? And the potential withdrawal has sparked warnings from experts who predict significant consequences for global health initiatives. Of course, they do. The WHO plays a critical role in coordinating international response to health crises, such as pandemics, disease outbreaks, and vaccine distribution. Losing its largest financial contributor could weaken the organization's ability to address global health challenges effectively. Well, everyone else will have to pull their own weight. All the other countries that's a part of this organization is going to have to pay more. I'm tired of our taxpayer dollars going to causes like this that actually have no benefits for us. But Ashish Jha noted that likely catastrophic impact of the U.S. withdrawal on global health, particularly in low and middle income countries that rely heavily on WHO programs. In April 2020, Trump's initial critique of the WHO included accusations that it had failed to act transparently during the pandemic and had repeatedly erred in favor of Beijing. Quote, they seem to be very China-centric. That's a nice way of saying it, but they seem to err always on the side of China, Trump said at the time. Experts suggest that announcing the withdrawal on Inauguration Day serves both symbolic and strategic purposes. The move directly counters Biden policies and reasserts Trump authority on global issues, making a decisive break from the previous administration. While the Trump team has not officially commented on the plan, the WHO and its member states are bracing for the announcement. The departure would represent a major shift in U.S. foreign policy and could set a precedent for other nations consider reducing their reliance on the organization. The potential withdrawal raises broader questions about the future role of the United States in global health initiatives. Without U.S. support, the WHO may face financial constraints impacting programs that combat diseases such as malaria, HIV/AIDS, and tuberculosis. It may also weaken global pandemic preparedness and response efforts. Why do they rely so heavily on our money, though? That's the big question. Why do we pay the bulk of it? That makes no sense. Everyone should pay a fair share of that, and China should have absolutely no influence on this thing. So if that's not going to happen, then we're out, just like Trump said. But for Trump, the move underscores his broader vision of limiting U.S. involvement in international organizations like I want as well, and he perceives as failing to serve American interests. As his inauguration approaches, the world watches closely to see whether the bold policy shift will come to fruition and what it will mean for global health governance in the years ahead. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all think this is the right decision to get out of the World Health Organization? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.